A week before the new year, I got fired. On a freezing, windy night, I ran to my best friend's place, bawling my eyes out. Julia, the boss stole my idea and pinned the blame on me. I hope he gets stuck in holiday traffic with food poisoning. Absent-mindedly, my hand brushed against my friend's waist. It felt hard, a little rough. I looked up at her. "Did you get taller?" She shot back. "You're hugging the wrong person. That's my brother. Not my fault. What guy wears pink, fuzzy cartoon pajamas?" Once I wiped my tears and put my glasses back on, I finally saw the man on the couch. Broad shoulders, narrow waist, endless legs, and a face as cold and distant as marble. He made those silly pajamas look like high fashion. I forced a smile. "Jason, when did you get back?" Jason barely lifted his head. "Just now." No wonder he looked exhausted straight off a plane. Clearly, I'd come at the wrong time. I stood to leave, but Julia stopped me. "It's snowing like crazy outside. You won't even get a ride. Where do you think you're going?" Before I could argue, she tossed me a green pajama set. "Here, a matching outfit. I got one for you too. You're staying with me tonight." I stared at the fluffy thing in my hands. Jason's was macho pink. Mine was blinding neon green. I hesitated. Wearing this meant staying single forever. Before I could react, the pajamas were gone. Jason stood, towering over me at 6'2", radiating pressure. Right in front of me, he stripped off the pink top, revealing a body cut with an 8-pack. Before I could take in the view, he pulled on the neon green. "You wear the pink one." The pajama top, still warm from his body and carrying his cool, woody scent, landed in my hands. Heat rushed to my face. Jason was already heading upstairs, tossing over his shoulder. "I need some sleep. Don't wreck the house while I'm out." Half my face buried in the pink fabric, I whispered to Julia. "Your brother, is he into me?" Julia rolled her eyes. "I told you ages ago to make a move. You said it wasn't right. Well, too late now." Jason was back in town for blind dates. His match? Jessica, the only daughter of the Smith family's biggest business partner, Ivy League. Stunning, polished from head to toe. The family set it up. If nothing went wrong, they'd be engaged. A perfect power match. The thought of that flawless man becoming someone else's husband crushed me. Losing my job before the holidays hurt, but not even a fraction as much as this. Julia didn't spare me, either. "You coward. I told you to confess. You chickened out. Now he's getting married, and the bride isn't you." I muttered weakly, thinking, with someone like me, would he even look twice? At least I knew my place. Just then, a damp, handsome head poked out from upstairs. "Jason. Sis, grab me some clothes." "No time." Julia didn't even look up. "Belle can do it." Silence. My stomach lurched. I rushed to refuse, but Julia yelled, "Belle says no too? Then stay naked." A pause. Then Jason's voice floated down. "Belle." That low, magnetic tone hooked straight into my ears. "Please." I'd been to the Smiths plenty of times, but never Jason's room. The layout was familiar, though closet full of loungewear. Only the colors and patterns varied. By the time I stepped in, Jason had slipped back into the bathroom. "What color do you want, Jason?" I asked. "Doesn't matter." So I grabbed a white set. The bathroom door cracked open just enough for me to hand it in. A moment later, "Don't like this one." I tried again with a black set. The movement knocked down a fancy box, spilling an envelope corner. Something about it rang familiar. I tugged it out and froze. My old high school love letter to Jason. "What are you looking at?" Jason suddenly leaned out of the bathroom. Panicked, my hand outran my brain, shoving the envelope up my sleeve. Nothing." Clutching the box like it might explode, I stammered, "Jason, this box. Old stuff. Don't remember it." Relief washed over me. Good, he didn't remember. He brushed past, taking the black pajamas from my hands. A towel hung precariously around his waist, water dripping from his hair. tracing down his abs. "Still here? Planning to watch me change?" he teased, fingers at the towel. I dropped the box and bolted. Jason was the golden boy of Lynn High City, a business prodigy. Me, call it single-parent upbringing, call it unwanted, stray, it all meant the same. He was the moon in the sky. I was a rat in the gutter. My feelings, if spoken, would be an insult. But that clarity hadn't come right away. Back in high school, I'd met Julia through competitions. We clicked fast, became best friends. People whispered I was clinging to a rich girl for an easy ride. Hot-headed and fearless, I didn't care. Julia and I went to school together, crammed for tests together, cursed at line cutters in the cafeteria together. Senior year, Julia and I took home the championship. She told me, "Thanks for carrying me, genius." I shot back, "Thanks for covering my lunch, rich girl." Standing on that podium, I stomped on every insult thrown at me. That was the day I first met Jason. We used the prize money for a tiny victory party, street food and soda. At 2 a.m, Julia and I squatted on the curb in our uniforms, like a pair of blue mushrooms. Jason's car pulled up in front of us. Long legs, black suit, messy hair catching the glow of the streetlight. He bent down, looking at me and Julia like we were a pair of strays. I hiccuped. I hadn't even had a drink, yet I felt drunk. "Julia, he's so hot, I want to kiss him." Julia shrieked and dragged me off. I didn't get it. "Why are you running? I haven't even added him on WeChat yet." Julia yelled, "Are you insane? That's my brother." Next thing I knew, Jason had us cornered in an alley, one in each hand by the collar, dragging us back to the Smiths. For staying out all night, we got chewed out royally. I couldn't remember a word of the scolding. My head was filled with one thought. Jason's so damn handsome. I want to kiss him. Back then, he was a college junior, already launching his own business, a rising star in the industry. Smart, good-looking, privileged. Naturally, he had a swarm of admirers. I whispered to Julia, "Can I chase your brother?" Julia cut me off firmly. "Go for it. Nail him." Fearless me actually wrote a love letter and slipped it into Jason's pocket. No reply, like it sank into the ocean. Undeterred, I wrote a second one. Before I could give it to him, Emily grabbed my backpack after school, laughing as she pulled out the medicine I'd just bought for my grandma. $300 a box, no insurance. I'd spent all my prize money to buy 6 half a year's worth. It was my grandma's lifeline. Emily pressed her foot on one box. A little more force and it'd be ruined. "You think you're worthy of chasing Jason? Pathetic." She dangled the other 5 boxes. "Want them back?" I did. "Eat the love letter and I'll give them back." Teenage pride was tough, but fragile. My grandma's life mattered more than a crush. I tore the envelope open, shoved the paper into my mouth, and chewed until it turned to pulp, along with my feelings. My courage. When I looked up, Jason was there, standing in the sunlight, still dazzling. I shrank into the shadows, messy and humiliated. I never said the word "like" again. I wasn't worthy. The next morning, Jason vanished. So this unemployed stray holed up in Julia's room, sighing at the ceiling. Julia smacked me. "What's with the sighs? I'll go rip your boss to shreds." "No need. In development projects, people always leave escape hatches." By noon, the call finally came. Tony sounded like he was on fire. "Isabel, I'm downstairs at your place. I'll drive you to work." I snorted. "Tony, did you forget? I got fired. You're lead on this project. Don't drag me in." His voice got desperate, almost begging. "Belle, sis, I screwed up. The Blue Whale review is today. If you don't help me, I'm done. Wire me $300,000 first." Tony ground his teeth. "Deal." After I hung up, Julia gave me a look of pure disdain. "And you cursed your boss with food poisoning? Please, you're the real black-hearted one. By the way, do you even know whose company Blue Whale is?" I didn't, but I was about to. In Blue Whale's conference room, I followed Tony in, sat down, looked up, and locked eyes with Jason's icy stare. My heart skipped. I ducked behind Tony, frantically Googling, "Blue Whale, legal rep Jason." I didn't know what was up with him today, but he stared at me the whole meeting, like he wanted to burn a hole right through me. I squirmed in my seat, pitching the project while mentally replaying yesterday for anything I'd done out of line. Nothing came to mind. Miss Isabel, as I understand it, you're currently unemployed. What exactly is your relationship with Mr. Tony? The moment the presentation ended, Jason's question froze the room. I thought fast. Last night I'd cursed my boss. Now I was here, pitching alongside him. To Blue Whale, that screamed, "This project is a mess." And I still had that 300 grand at stake. I steadied myself. Tony is my boyfriend. Yesterday we had a personal argument. It has nothing to do with the project. Mr. Jason, you don't have to worry. Catching my cue, Tony bobbed his head like crazy. Yeah, just a little lover's spat. Sorry for the trouble. To sell it, he even grabbed my hand like we'd made up. Jason said nothing, just stood and walked out coldly, leaving everyone stunned. The room buzzed with silent looks. Sign the deal or not? On break, I stepped into the hall and found Jason waiting. He crooked a finger. When I got close, his long hand reached out. Thief, give it back. Give what back? His palm pressed against the wall behind me, his face unreadable. My love letter. My face went scarlet. Didn't he say he didn't remember? Now he remembered just fine. Jason, you've gotten so many letters over the years. Maybe you just lost it yourself. I'll help you look when I get home. I tried to bolt, but Jason caught me. His hand slid around my waist, burning hot against my side, heat spreading through me. Playing dumb. There was only one letter in my room. How could I lose it? My brain short-circuited. What was he even saying? In his bedroom only my letter? Did that mean Mr. Jason? A stranger's voice snapped me back. Jason didn't let go, still holding me by the waist in front of his assistant. What is it? He asked irritably. Carlos stared straight ahead. Mr. Jason, your date has arrived. Ice water doused me head to toe. How could I forget? Jason came back to get married. What was I even thinking? I shoved his hand off. Mr. Jason, if there's nothing else, I'll head back to the meeting room. My boyfriend's waiting. I spun and left. I waited until dark. Through the glass, I saw Jason leave with a tall, gorgeous woman, and he never returned. Moments later, Carlos entered. Expression stiff. Apologies. Mr. Jason has urgent personal matters. Today's meeting is cancelled, Tony blurted. What about our project? Carlos cut him off. Mr. Jason invites you to the group's gala the day after tomorrow. You'll discuss it then. Relief eased Tony's face. Grinning, he led me downstairs. At the front desk, the staff were gossiping. Wow, Mr. Jason's girlfriend is gorgeous. Of course. She's a society princess. A perfect power couple. Guys like that aren't for the likes of us. Right. Jason was never mine to dream about. Their date must have gone well. Who wouldn't love a flawless Ivy League heiress? Isabel! Tony yanked me back from stepping into the street. Lost your mind? You trying to get killed? Cursing under his breath, he shoved me into the car, floored the gas, and dropped me at my apartment complex. Another car sat parked at the gate, expensive from the emblem, dusted with snow. Suddenly, its headlights flared, blinding me. Jason stepped out, standing in front of the car, smoke curling from his fingers, the ember glowing faint red. Belle, he said, hand outstretched. Come here. Tony hurried from the car, grabbing Jason's hand. Mr. Jason, didn't expect you'd wait so late for me. What are your instructions? Jason pulled his hand back and said flatly, I'm here for Isabel. Tony beamed. Of course. What do you need with her? Jason froze. Snatching someone's girlfriend in front of her boyfriend? He could do it, but he couldn't exactly say it out loud. Luckily, Tony was quick on the uptake. Before Jason could even answer, he urged me out of the car. Go, Belle. Mr. Jason needs you. He practically shoved me into Jason's side. Whatever it is, just tell Belle. We'll cooperate fully. I won't get in your way. I'll be off then. Tony couldn't wait to head home. He left without looking back. Snowflakes drifted down, not nearly as cold as Jason's sneer. Your taste isn't great, you know. I kept my head down, a full meter away. Mr. Jason, what did you want with me? What did you just call me? I corrected myself. Jason, brother. He snorted, but looked slightly more amused. Get in. I opened the back door. His gaze in the rearview mirror pinned me. What? Taking me for your chauffeur? If I sit in the front, your fiancé might misunderstand. His face didn't change. He just stared at me through the mirror. After a few seconds, I caved, opened the front door, and sat in the passenger seat. When we got to the Smith estate, Jason led me straight into his bedroom. He dropped into the sofa like a king. Find it. What? Jason's lips curved faintly. My love letter. I threw it away, I snapped, desperate to bury the subject. He wasn't angry, just propped his feet up and added a new demand, then rewrite it. Rewrite a love letter from 5 years ago? The humiliation was unbearable. I forgot it. Jason tilted his head up. No problem. I remember. I'll recite you right. Dear Jason. His tone was hooked with mischief, every word sliding straight into my ear. I squirmed, not just from the pull, but from sheer embarrassment. Who wouldn't want to bash their head against a wall being forced to rewrite an old love letter? Jason, of course, took his time, reciting every line I'd once written to him. Not just reciting, he even critiqued. This line had a typo. Belle wasn't very careful here. And this one, Jason, will you take me home? Tisk. What kind of kid writes stuff like that? My cheeks burned. If looks could kill, the pen in my hand would have stabbed his smug face. Jason didn't falter. He finished the last line, expression unreadable. Jason, can you give me a chance to like you? Silence fell after the final word. Then, after a long pause, he added softly, yes. It sounded like he was talking to himself, or finally answering the girl who had crushed on him years ago. My heart skipped a beat, just one, and then shame swept through me. I tossed the pen aside, shoving Jason deeper into the couch. Is this fun for you? I asked. Was toying with me that satisfying? A girl who loved him 5 years ago, still blushing around him now, was that just his pastime? Jason, that letter was from 5 years ago. That crush was 5 years ago. I told him, now, I don't like you anymore. So go on your dates. Make your marriage alliance. Stop trying to reel me in. Isabel's feelings for Jason belonged to the past. I released him, stepped off the couch, and walked out of the Smith estate. Back at my tiny apartment, the pink fuzzy pajamas still hung by my bed. I locked myself in, drifting aimlessly, losing all sense of day and night. Only when Tony's call came did I realize the gala was tonight. He was already downstairs, with his wife in the car. Big occasion like this. I wanted to bring my wife to see, Tony said with a sheepish grin. I understood, even envied it. For all his scheming and stinginess, Tony treated his wife well. Soon, the car pulled up to the hotel. Tony fussed over his wife, escorting her inside, while I was left behind. Then another fleet of luxury cars rolled up. Jason stepped out with Jessica. In an instant, flashbulbs exploded, the hotel entrance lit like a red carpet. Jason stood tall and aloof, Jessica radiant and elegant. Together, under all the blessings and attention, they were the perfect couple. Surrounded by a lively crowd, they were swept inside. I trailed in the back, walking through silence behind the noise. Half the gala passed, and I still couldn't find Tony. This was supposed to be about the project without him. How was I supposed to talk business? I circled the ballroom, then headed down a side hallway toward the lounges. Just around the corner, I heard Tony's pained cry. Mr. Jason, why are you hitting me? Jason reeked of alcohol, a rogue edge replacing his usual chill. He was nothing like his normal frosty self. Right now, he had Tony by the collar, landing another punch on his face. Aren't you Isabel's boyfriend? Then who was the woman you brought today? Shocked, wronged, too scared to fight back, Tony actually burst into tears. She's my wife. My wife! I brought my wife, how's that cheating? Jason didn't let up. So you're saying Belle is the other woman? Tony broke down. What, mistress? I have nothing to do with her! At the meeting, you both said it. I just played along. If you like her, Mr. Jason, chase her yourself. Why beat me up? Jason's sharp gaze cut toward me. My stomach dropped. I turned to bolt. Belle! Jason's voice rang out, edged with danger. Come here. I froze. Instinct told me if I ran and he caught me, it would be worse. I shuffled forward, forcing a smile. Jason. He grabbed my hand, pulling me into a nearby lounge. The room was dark, and he still didn't let go. His hand burned, slicking my palm with sweat. In the dark, my breathing turned uneven. Belle, Jason's whisper, laced with whiskey, swirled around me, clouding my thoughts. He lowered his head, lips seeking mine, kissing me with heat and urgency. I tilted my head back, caught in his pace. When flashes of clarity hit, I tried to push him off. But Jason carried a dangerous, restless energy. Belle, don't push me away. Unless you really don't want this. In the dark, he waited quietly for my answer, his gaze seared, making me tremble. The man I'd loved in secret for 5 years. The one I'd only ever dared to admire from afar. My feelings had never felt worthy. Heart racing. I clutched his collar, pulled close, and kissed him back. To hell with not worthy. Tonight I was going to give my 5 years of secret longing an answer. Isabel loved Jason. Always had, always would. Outside, people drifted away, but I sank deeper into the whirlpool named Jason. Like a moth to flame, burning myself out with the last of my strength. Until Jessica's voice rang from outside the door. Where's Jason? He was just here. She was searching and on the phone. She tried the door, but it didn't budge, so she spoke into her call instead. Mum, don't worry. Once I find Jason, I'll have him drive me back. Just one door away. Her voice slapped me twice across the face. Isabel, what the hell are you doing? Have you no shame? I shoved Jason back, turned my face away in the dark, ragged and humiliated. That old crush wasn't much after all. Now I've kissed you, touched you. You can go. I forced a careless tone, but my fingers shook uncontrollably. Jason was silent for a long time before he spoke, voice carrying hurt. Belle, you really don't like me anymore? I gave a hollow laugh. Who could like someone that long? Way past its expiration date. After a long silence, he let go. The heat of his palm vanished, replaced by a chill. He opened the door and left. Alone in the dark, I felt like someone had gouged a piece out of my chest. Icy wind flooding in. After that, life seemed to go back to normal. Tony signed the deal smoothly. Project secured. Jason never appeared again. I got my commission and started planning how to spend New Year's Eve alone. That's when Julia got sick. Her voice was thick with congestion over the phone. Belle, I need you. I rushed over at midnight. Julia's eyes were red as a rabbit's when she opened the door. She hugged me, sobbing. It's awful. My brother seems to have broken up with Jessica. He's been acting like the world ended, ordering me around non-stop. Belle, we promised to share everything. You can't abandon me now. While Julia poured out her misery, Jason's voice drifted from upstairs. Sis, I'm hungry, Julia snapped. Again? I hired a private chef he won't eat. Ordered takeout, he won't touch it. He insists on my cooking. I can't cook. Let him starve. Upstairs, Jason sighed dramatically. Guess no one loves me. Minutes later, a trending post exploded online. Jason, she said she wants me to starve. Phones lit up everywhere. Company, shareholders, parents overseas. The Smith house line went crazy. Julia screeched at her phone. Jason, If you're gonna lose it, use your burner account, not your main one. In that moment, I understood. Julia wasn't sick. She just shouted herself. Hoarse. I sighed. I can cook. I'll make something. Julia's tears turned into gratitude, and she bolted to her room, locked the door, and left me to it. I had no idea how long Jason had gone unfed. I thought for a moment, then made him a bowl of noodles. When I stepped out of the kitchen, he was already downstairs, slouched on the sofa. His hair was a bird's nest, messy across his forehead. His white shirt hung open at a few buttons, a hint of chest showing, careless, yet carelessly sexy. I stole a few glances before setting the noodles in front of him. Jason, eat something. He didn't move. After a while, he looked up. His sharp eyes softened into something almost boyish. Feed me. I thought I misheard. He repeated, Belle, I'll eat if you feed me. Embarrassed, I shook my head. Come on. You can feed yourself. He didn't press, just sighed and pulled out his phone. Déjà vu prickled at me. Moments later, another hot search. Jason, better to starve than be unwanted. From her room, Julia screamed, Jason, go die outside. Defeated, I picked up the bowl. Open up. Ah, Jason obeyed like a kid. He ate obediently, bite after bite, until the noodles were gone. After washing up, he handed me a fairy tale book. Read to me. He said it like an order. I couldn't help but protest. Jason, you're heartbroken, not brain dead. Jason sighed, phone in hand. Fine, I'll read. There was no reasoning with a lovesick man throwing tantrums. I gave in, opened the book, and froze. I thought it was a bootleg at first, but the cover and illustrations were too well made. Jason nudged me impatiently. I steadied myself and began. In a faraway forest, there was a clever hunter named Gargamel. One day, he found a little blue mushroom. He found it when it was still tiny. Jason cut in. But the mushroom was scared, afraid the hunter would eat it, so it ran away. Years later, the mushroom met the hunter again. It had grown, full of courage, no longer afraid. And so, they lived happily ever after. I closed the book, lifted my eyes, and Jason's face was suddenly right there. So close, our breaths tangled. And you, Isabel? He asked, eyes locked on mine. Do you have courage now? The man I'd idolized for years, staring straight into me. My face flushed crimson. Instinct said retreat, but he gave me no chance. His arm wrapped around my back, hand pressing firmly, cutting off escape. Don't think you can dodge me anymore. Don't think you can lie to me. Isabel, do you have even a little feeling for me? Heat seared through my back, my pulse stuttering. I feared he was just toying with me again like before, dating and still teasing me. I couldn't answer, couldn't meet his eyes, dropped my head instead. He leaned closer, breath hot against my ear, tingling, making my heartbeat dance to his rhythm. Isabel, I've wanted you from the start. Always. From the first time I saw you on that street corner, I wanted you for myself. But you were too young, too timid. I didn't want to scare you. Now, Isabel, you have no chance to run. His lips brushed my cheek, inch by inch, until they claimed mine. My mind went blank. How could this be real? Jason pulled back just slightly, pink at the corners of his eyes, unbearably tempting. I've been obvious enough. How can you still not see? Who strips in the living room in front of others? Who lets a random girl into his bedroom, straight to the one box hiding that letter? He might as well have said it outright. Isabel, I like you. But she was too timid. 5 years ago, one taunt from a classmate, and she shut herself away. A confession would have scared her off. He could only lure her, step by step. He thought he had all the time in the world until she said she had a boyfriend. Holding hands with someone else right in front of him? His careful plan to lure me crumbled. He couldn't wait any longer. So he started dropping hints, ready to snatch me up. even prepared to be the side piece if he had to. Until the gala, when he found out that man wasn't my boyfriend, just an excuse I'd used. Perfect. No need to be the other man. Isabel, you won't escape again. Belle, if you don't want this, push me away, Jason whispered against my lips, kissing me again as New Year's fireworks lit up outside the window. Belle, is there any food left? I'm hungry too, Julia's voice thundered, and instinctively I shoved Jason. But he didn't budge. He kept me pinned on the couch, raised a brow, as if saying, "Really pushing? Even if you do, I'm not leaving." Panic flared, I whispered. "Julia's coming downstairs." So what? Jason went shameless, brushing slow kisses across my lips. "She's not the one embarrassed here." After a pause, Julia called out, "Then the place is yours. I'm out." Post-holiday, the invites rolled in. Our old class rep was planning a high school reunion and soon tagged Julia and me. "Isabel and Julia, the competition sisters, are you coming?" Just as I typed a reply, Jason snatched my phone. "Belle, I can't find my clothes again." Truth was, his whole closet looked identical. Anything would do. But Jason insisted, dragging my hand to his abs. "Please." My face flamed, and I gave in, hunting through his wardrobe. In that little gap, Jason blew up my class group chat. First thing he did with my phone, post a selfie of the two of us. The screen filled with classmates spamming, "Another crush bites the dust." But one message stood out. Well, the sparrow finally landed on a branch? A guy like Jason's just toying with you for the thrill. Don't flatter yourself. Class rep. Emily. Watch your mouth. Emily. Am I wrong? She lived on aid through high school, clung to Julia the rich girl, and now wants to marry her brother. Isn't that just gold digging? Spit! If I let someone cling to me, that's my business. You'd do it if you could. Only problem is you're disgusting. Isabel. Emily? Isabel, I was waiting for you. Emily has been removed from the group. Moments later, her avatar went grey. When I got my phone back, I frowned. Emily logged off? Jason shrugged. Beats me. Maybe she didn't feel like playing anymore. Julia nodded furiously. Exactly. What I never expected was Jessica showing up as a guest. Thinking about stealing the man who was supposed to be hers made me want to crawl into the floor. She spoke first. Don't look so guilty. Jason and I were never more than business contacts, not even friends. How? My shock made her laugh. Didn't he tell you? Our blind date lasted 3 minutes. He told me straight away he was already in love and came back to chase her. So instead of wasting a dinner, we struck a business deal instead. Jessica clicked her tongue, a little annoyed. At first I was pissed. No girl had ever outshone me until I saw you. I touched my face awkwardly. Am I really that outstanding? No. Jessica shut it down without hesitation. I'm the femme fatale type. You're the cute type. Jason's into cute. What can I do? Guess I'll have to find myself another handsome man. Just then, Jason strolled over in his neon green pajamas, wrapping me up, wary. What are you telling my wife? Don't go corrupting my Belle. Jessica rolled her eyes. You look like such a smug bastard. Yet you're into the whole raising a bunny act? Relax. Who'd steal your wife? Though she pulled out a photo. This your buddy? Give me an intro. I'll cut you 10% of the profits. 20. Deal. By spring, I was flying abroad with Jason to meet his parents. Mrs. Smith studied me for a long time without saying a word. My nerves twisted, mind racing through every in-law survival tip. Then she pulled me aside. Her first words, "Are you even of age?" "Auntie, I'm 22. Mrs. Smith hesitated, then asked, "You look so young, Jason isn't tricking you, is he?" "Listen, if he is, just say the word. I've got ways to sneak you out." "Mum!" Jason rushed in. "Do you have to sabotage me right after I finally win her over?" Mrs. Smith pouted. "What?" You two look like a forced romance setup. Cold CEO type with a fragile little bunny classic trope. I'm just watching out for her. Jason rubbed his forehead, muttering, "She's read too many CEO romance novels." Still unsatisfied, Mrs. Smith cornered me again. "If you ever get sick of him, tell me. I'll get you a new identity. He'll never find you." The next day, a fed-up Jason booked tickets back home. We registered our marriage, then bought a villa near the Smith estate as our new home. While we were moving in, Julia leaned on the doorway, arms crossed, glaring at her brother. "I feel used. When you were overseas, you checked on me constantly, who I ate with, where I went. 2 months back here, and not a single text. Guess it wasn't me you cared about, but whether Belle was around." Jason pulled out his phone and transferred money. Julia glanced at the notification, and her face bloomed into a smile. "Brother, sister-in-law, congrats! Come visit often."